Boy, that just splashed on me, and that's hot.
He interrupts me, but I'm pretty persistent.
Yes.
I come back.
Yep.
That's true.
I almost hit the guy. I almost reached over and hit him just smack before I.
The subject.
No, I'm not changing. I'm just cooking. This is a cooking show. It's not a marriage show.
That's right. Hi.
Hi. Good to see you.
Yes.
All right.
And where are we?
We are in my house. What do you mean?
We're in the Papa's kitchen.
Papa's kitchen.
Of
Oh,
course.
I see what you're.
And you're making my favorite soup.
I am going to
One
make
of my
your
favorite
soup.
In
yeah.
fact, the last soup you made was your favorite.
French onion. It is one of my favorites. There's one more soup I want to do next year. Obviously,
Yes,
I'll do it
next year. That
but
sounds
it
good.
will be the Dutch soup. I
Oh,
love
yes,
the Dutch
yes.
soup with the meatballs and oh my goodness, and
But
the chunks of
this
sirloin.
one is, you can buy it in a can.
Yeah, you could.
And it's a staple that everybody has in their house. But
Yeah, this
the
is
way
not-
you make this
Yeah,
one.
this is good. This is a recipe actually from Reed Drummond.
Yes.
And I got this from my niece. She's the one that turned all of us and the whole family onto this. And I think
Yeah.
Sharon and Mike do this. I don't know if Ron and Renee.
Your mom
My
does
mom
it.
does this,
Yep.
and I've done this for years. It is so flavorful. And I'm not a big tomato soup
No.
person, but this is good. And I'll show you a trick to get rid of the acidity. That's usually why I don't like apple
Yeah.
soup. Tomato soup, apple soup. Tomato soup is because of the acidity. But there's a trick that she uses, Reed Drummond does, and I'm gonna use the same trick. But
I like what you do with it.
yeah, I like it.
You serve with it.
I serve the grilled cheese.
Yes,
And I bought myself some Wonder Bread today just to have.
Yes.
The good old it brought back
The
memories.
stick to
I
your
haven't
teeth
had Wonder
Wonder
Bread
Bread.
in probably 40 years, 50 years. But yeah, we're
Every
gonna do
once
it.
in a while,
Yeah.
you like it. Though.
Yeah, I do.
It must remind you of the school days when your mom made
My
you
mom did that. Yeah,
sandwiches.
wet Wonder Bread.
That's all that was available
and it was
back
the stick
then.
in your teeth kind of
Yes,
Wonder Bread. That
definitely.
soft white bread.
Yes.
Oof, I can't even make that good like that.
No, okay.
You want to try this?
Yes.
All right. So
Okay.
basically, what I'm doing, Sue, is I'm putting in 3/4 of a stick of butter. I had about a quarter of, about a half a stick of unsalted, and I'm just putting the rest
Okay, let me
is
see
salted
if I
just to
can-
get rid of.
Yeah, I can get in there.
There you
Okay.
go, and I'm gonna get this heated. I'm going. Let's turn that on. And while that's going, I've got one diced up. You can either use white or yellow onion, and I've just got that ready. And I'm gonna go ahead and saute that diced up onion until it is translucent down in there. Is all I want. And in the meantime, while that's sort of going, let me find my stick. Yeah, here we go. While that's going, I'm going to, you gave me a good idea. I thought I had in the pantry diced tomatoes. You need 28 ounces of diced tomatoes, 2 14-ounce cans or 1 big can. I didn't have any, I only had whole peeled. So you have a chopper here, and this works just great. So a couple 3 chops on that, and that's done. Oh yeah, look at that. Wow.
Yeah, I love that chopper.
That is great. So I'm making my own diced tomatoes here. Put that one in, and let's put another one in.
I don't remember where I bought that chopper.
Oh man, that's
I
wonderful.
think it was from one of those kitchen parties.
Yeah, we've all been to, well, you've all, I don't go to them, but. There we go, and there's one more. Oh, and honestly, this, I don't have to do it a lot. This soup, when I do it, I like actually leaving a little bit of the chunks in there. I've done both ways where I use my immersion blender, and that's it. And I'm going to use that juice. I've used the immersion blender to get it real smooth, but I sort of actually like having a little bit of the chunk in there. So I sort of play that by ear once we get going here. But anyhow, I'm going to put up this recipe, and I'm going to make sure you realize it's from Reed Drummond, and I'll make point of that too in the recipe. But it's so easy, and I'll tell you what, we make enough of this that I'll find some mason jars and put, like 2 or 3 mason jars, not even full, but enough that works for us for a meal. and we'll have enough here for a few meals. I know we will, so that's really nice.
Love it for lunch.
So, yeah, so what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to let this cook, like I said, for a few minutes until they're translucent. Then I'm going to dump in these diced tomatoes and cook those just briefly. And then I'm going to add a 46-ounce container here of tomato juice. I don't use V8, I just use the regular old tomato juice. And in order to cut the acidity, what she does, and you do this, I know people do this even when they're making a marinara sauce for spaghetti or whatever, she uses sugar, and she goes by taste, and she uses up to from 3 to 6 tablespoons of white sugar. And let me make sure that this is going good. Yeah, that cuts the acidity down. And she actually admits in the recipe that I have from her that she uses all 6 tablespoons. But I do like a little sweetness with the tomato, to be honest with you myself, so I'll probably get near there. The only other thing that she does, she adds 1 cup of a sherry, and I don't have it. I don't keep sherry here, but I just keep a dry red wine for cooking, and that's what I'm going to do here.
Well,
and that makes a difference, as well as a cup and a half of heavy cream.
Okay, but you discussed last time we made this that cooking sherry is so much more expensive.
It is.
Regular
Than
white
just
wine.
red wine, yeah.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to do just a very dry, a very rather dry
and it's not nearly
red
as
wine.
expensive.
It's not that expensive. Sherry, no.
Like drinking sherry compared to cooking.
I don't know if
cheaper.
anybody drinks. I don't drink, so I don't know if they drink sherry.
I've seen them on TV.
Do they?
Drink sherry.
I don't know. I like cooking with it because it brings a depth of flavor, and that's my only reason for doing so. I don't know if there's a substitute for it. Now that's a good question.
For sherry?
And for wine even, to put in here, but I don't know what I would use. I wonder if you could use just a sweet grape juice or something like that.
No.
But I wouldn't think so, no. I don't know what you would do, honestly. Maybe
Just
somebody
add
out
it.
there would know. Or just
add
leave
it.
it out. Yeah,
Yeah.
don't even put it in.
Yep.
And what else makes it very creamy is the heavy cream that we're going to put in too near the end. Yeah, these are cooking just great. I'm going to let them go just a few more minutes.
Okay, when you do that, I'm going to adjust this camera so I
Okay.
can see inside of there.
All right. All right, as you can see, I've got a pretty big pot going on here, and so it's been hard to get the video in there, but those onions are pretty translucent, and I like what they look like. I'm going to put in the can of diced tomatoes and get that all blended with those onions. And I'm actually going to even add this wonderful juice that came with it. There we go. And we'll get all that sort of moved around. Basically, what I'm going to do is add 46 ounces of tomato juice, and we're gonna get that sort of brought up a little bit to speed. Let me do this. Back it up, yeah, just in case. I do it against the spoon, it helps avoid all that splashing.
I wonder if you could do this in the Instant Pot.
You know, I imagine you could. I hadn't even
for the
thought about
cream
it.
part.
The cream part you add later, which I add the wine and the cream later after this is cooked a while. So yeah, you absolutely probably could.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know that it has an advantage to doing that, honestly, that I can think of. There's nothing that's really cooking per se, you know. As that warms up, I do want to thank everybody for their pre-orders on this. It's been outstanding on both from my site, The Papa's Kitchen, and from Sarah's site, Our Tribe of Many. We're really excited. This book is our parenting book that we co-wrote with my mom, actually is in it some too. But it's been a real labor of intense love, let's say it that way, because it's taken me about 2 years to get it all put together and compiled, and then working with the editors and all the mess that goes with a book, and to make it right. You know, we're not just Xeroxing it off here at the house or something and sending it to you. And the other thing too is your pre-orders help us determine how many books to order ahead of time, because we are self-publishing it. So we sort of help with that, giving the distributor an understanding of how many books they need to order. And so we're trying to make good estimates. So if you're wanting this, it comes out February 21st, but we're still taking pre-orders, and so get your pre-orders in. I do want to tell you, some people have asked, I've looked at the comments, what we have here are 7 principles that are in there that all 3 of our families, my parents, I, and Susan, and then of course Sarah and Solo, and honestly Luke and Jill as well, plus my siblings. I mean, when you think about it, we've all used these principles to raise our families, and they work. They're principles that we live by, and they work. And so even when I deal with values, I talk about the need to have values established, but you have to determine for your family what are your values. And the other thing that we do throughout the book that you're really going to enjoy, and it's pretty humorous actually, is we tell stories. Everybody likes a story. Everybody likes a story. And so we, throughout all the chapters, we're not just giving you facts and all that kind of stuff or principles and theory and all that, but we're giving you application from our homes and using real life stories that took place or whatever. And so I think you'll find it helpful, certainly, and I think you'll find it amusing actually. And we learn through stories, we really do, whether they're funny stories or sad stories, maybe 1 or 2 of them in there, whatever the case is. They help build up the idea of that particular principle. So again, not to belabor it, but thank you so much for pre-ordering that book, and I can't wait to get it February 21st into your hands. It'll ship out and get to you real quick. If you're in the US, use the link to our distributor, which is called Iron Stream Media, and I've got that down there in the description. If you're outside the US, get it through Amazon. That's going to be the best, because then they will distribute it. Amazon distributes to your country, and then it goes to you from there, and it's a lot cheaper on the shipping. And then also it's available on Kindle. A lot of you have asked about Audible books. I've never thought about it. Sarah's never thought about it, but we talked about it, and we're going to see if that's available. Maybe sometime in part of next year we can make something like that available, but it won't be available right away. So get your book, and thank you for doing so.
But it is available on Kindle.
Yeah, I did say Kindle. Yeah, okay. It is available on Kindle. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add the sugar, and I'm going to do at least 3 tablespoons to start with. And I'm going to put that right in there like that. And I really do want to have this come up to heat a little bit faster. And this is a 2 tablespoon deal, so let me do this. So there's 3. And I'm going to stir that in, and then I'll taste it. And between every tablespoon, I'm going to taste it to make sure that it's to the acidity level or less level that I want. And you probably need to do the same thing. Just don't dump in a bunch of sugar. Don't dump in any seasoning, actually, for that matter, until you've tasted things. Yeah, I'm going to do 2 more.
There is something else you put in this, right?
Well, at the end, I'm going to put in parsley, chopped fresh parsley, and basil, and that's really good.
Isn't
and some of you don't like
there that you put in.
Yeah, well, in a few minutes, few moments. Yeah, some of you don't like basil, and I totally get that. But leave that out if you don't like it. I love that taste. But I will give you a little hint when you're going to do the basil and parsley. Do it once you've got this hot and you're going to eat it. So in other words, don't put the parsley and basil in now and then divide this into your mason jars or whatever for later. It makes the basil and parsley just soggy and ugly. Use it more fresh every time, and that makes the soup appear or feel fresh than when you do it that way. So I think we're good here. Let me wash that off before I put it back in. Yeah, that was 5 for me, so that's going to be just fine right there, and that's really good. Really good. Yeah. Now, the other thing that this calls for is to add some tablespoons of bouillon or you can use chicken stock. And I think the recipe called for, let me see here, it called for 1 to 2 tablespoons of chicken stock or 3 chicken bouillon cubes. So I've got some bouillon here, and I need 3 teaspoons of bouillon. Some of you have told me about, and I've never tried it, so I bought some to try, is this Better Than Bouillon jar. And it's the chicken base. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to try that. And sort of happy I did. I want to see how it turns out, you know. All right, I've got that Better Than Bouillon. This is the chicken. And I'm going to put 3 tablespoons of that in there. Boy, that just splashed on me. And that's hot. 1. This is really different stuff, babe. I've never used it before. 2. I'm messing with this stupid little thing.
Oh man, you're splashing.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. I'm
glad you
doing
just
that.
stick the whole thing in there.
There's another one. There we go. Just like that. My goodness, gonna kill myself.
Oh, I wasn't even showing it now. I was showing you.
Oh,
which was
okay.
Probably funnier.
Yeah, well,
than it in
it's
there.
all over me, that's for sure. Glad I didn't wear my white apron.
Yeah, well, you have yellow on your white apron.
Yeah. What I'm looking forward to is the grilled cheese. Oh my goodness, this is going to be so
You're the
good.
sandwich king.
I am. I would have sandwich 3 times a day.
That's right.
And I'd have chicken wings 3 times a day. Those 2 things are my favorite things.
Hey, I love chicken wings.
I know you
too.
do. I know you do. And my mother does too, I'll tell
We
you.
need to do them more often.
Yeah. Oh, that's looking so good, and it's smelling really good.
You haven't found a really good recipe for chicken wings, have you?
No, I haven't. If somebody's got a simple but good recipe.
You like them spicy.
I like them spicy.
mild.
You know what my problem is? Here's the problem. I'll tell you what the problem is. I keep my wings frozen.
Yes.
And so when I pull them out, and then I'm going to do them in the oven or whatever the
Yeah.
case may be, which I like that. I don't fry them, I bake them.
Or the air fryer.
Or the air fryer. They're watery, and I can't figure out how to break that. I gotta ask
You gotta
somebody.
dry them. Thaw them
I guess,
and then
and dry them off or something. I don't know. Anyhow. Yeah. Now I want to heat that there as it's done like that to that level. I want to heat that all the way to a boil, and then once that's boiling, I'm going to bring it back down, let it simmer, while I add in about a cup and a half. I'm looking if I have. I'm sorry. I know it. I'm off camera.
I know.
Here,
I got
a
a
cup and a
bottle
half of
over
heavy
there.
cream. That's all I'm looking for, and I bought that fresh. So, and that's all we're gonna do, and plus the dry red wine, and mix it all up, and it's done. That is a quick, easy meal. That's all that is. That's
Yes,
just,
and if you're not explaining it to people, it's much quicker.
yeah, absolutely. Look at, I've got red tomato sauce in my. Oh, for heaven's sake! Splatter
There you
right into
go.
my chicken. I mean, my sugar. Lord have mercy. All right.
Got chicken on the
Yeah.
brain.
Oh my goodness. All right, it's almost there, and I've got to get a cup, measuring cup. I don't feel like I'm all together today, but it's the holidays. That's all it is. It's just the holidays.
Oh.
I'm glad this is an easy meal. I mean, if this was like orange chicken or something, it'd be a disaster.
Here, do you want me to take over?
I wish you would. I really do. Give you the apron, let you take over, and I'm just gonna go lay down.
We should do a cook-off.
Oh, we should.
Yes, it's been a busy.
Where I can interrupt you and everything you say. Evidently, I must do that because I get a couple of people that say, "I wish you would quit interrupting her." Sorry about that. We've been married.
It's one person.
Huh? Yeah. Well,
I think
she
it's
keeps saying it twice then, or 3 times. We've been married 48 years.
Hey,
and
I'm
it's
used to it.
Well, and not only that, but after 48 years, we know how to communicate with one another. Give me a break.
Well, he interrupts me, but I'm pretty persistent.
Yes.
I come back.
Yep, that's right. That you do.
I think sometimes.
Hey, did you mark these for me?
I did.
I appreciate that.
See there, you just noticed.
I just noticed. That's great. I'm going, who wrote on my stuff?
You went to, I think he has a hearing problem, but he did go to a hearing guy.
Yeah, several years ago.
Yes.
Your mother and I did.
Yes.
Together.
Yes.
I remember that.
And why did you go together?
Because she had a hard time hearing, and you thought I did.
No, we tried to get her to get hearing aids. She didn't want them.
Oh, that's what it was.
You
yes.
said, well, I'll go too. Susan thinks I have a hearing problem.
Yeah, that's right.
And so we went, and he got tested, and the doctor looked at him, and what did he say?
He says, you do have a problem.
You do have a hearing problem.
You have a, what did he call it?
You have selective hearing.
Selective spouse hearing.
You only don't hear your spouse's voice.
Yeah. Yeah, he called it ESH. He said, no, SSH, selective spouse hearing. Yeah.
Disorder.
SSH. That's what he called it. Disorder. That's what it was. SSD. That's exactly what it was. That's what it was. Disorder. You're right.
Oh man. Well, that's true.
I almost hit the guy. I almost reached over and hit him. Just smacked him.
If you've been married over 30 years or 25, don't you agree your husband has that? Or your wife, depending.
I saw.
Depending on.
Come on, no. I saw a thing, Susan. You would have laughed. Yes. I should have showed it to you. One of those reels, you know. And the guy's, he's a comedian up on stage, and he says, "Think about this. How many guys grow up going, oh, I just really want to be a husband. I really, really do. I don't like my opinion. I want to hear somebody else's opinion. I really want to be a husband."
Tell me how to be a better husband.
Yeah, not even better. He says, you grow up, your goal in life is to be a husband. He said,
I see what you mean.
Who does that? He said, it was so funny. I was roaring.
I see what you mean. Because a wife goes, oh, I just want to be a mom and a wife.
Yeah. Now, a guy will say, I want to be a father.
Yeah.
But no guy out there says, oh, I can't wait to be a husband and have my wife tell me what to do and I don't even get to have an opinion.
Well, a wife doesn't say, I want my husband to tell me what to do.
No, I understand it. Okay. You're taking it from the wife's perspective. Take it from the husband's perspective.
Well, marriage is an interesting venture. Adventure.
It really is.
Has yours gotten better? That's a loaded question.
I don't know.
Oh, come on.
I'm putting in some pepper, by the way, before No, I'm not changing. I'm just cooking. This is a cooking show. It's not a marriage show.
That's right.
And so I'm putting some pepper in to what I know is to taste here, and getting this all nice. And once that comes to a boil, and I want it to get to a full ripping boil, then I'm going to turn it off, and that's when I add the cream and I add the sherry or the wine.
Okay. They're good?